Hey Otters, we are here for math right now, and we are going to continue on in our geometry unit, more specifically looking at polygons like we talked about yesterday. And now we're going to move into like breaking polygons down into their characteristics or properties. Today specifically we'll be looking at triangles, and there's two parts to this, as you can see from this. This is part one, and we'll look at another way to classify triangles tomorrow. So let's get started. So there's three ways that we're going to classify triangles today. Let's take a look at this right here. Number one, this kind of triangle right here is pronounced an equilateral triangle. An equilateral triangle is a triangle where all sides are the same length. You'll notice from this one here that all three of its sides have a length of 5. So this would be considered an equilateral triangle. Next, we have an isosceles triangle. Let's try saying that, isosceles. In an isosceles triangle, at least two sides are the same length. You'll notice here, there's a length of 10 here, and then both of these have a length of 6, which makes this an isosceles triangle. And finally, we have what's called a scalene triangle. In a scalene triangle, there are no sides that have the same length. Here you'll see there's a length of 5, 7, and 9. So a scalene triangle has no sides that are the same length. So here it's just a matter of trying to practice and memorize this vocabulary. So equilateral, that one's kind of easier to remember because you hear the word equal in it. All three sides are equal or the same length. Isosceles triangle, two sides are the same length. And scalene, no sides are the same length. So you might need to refer back to this as we go along. And it will be included in your assignment today, your Apply My Learning after the seminar. So let's practice this a little bit. So here are our first practice problems. You'll notice that in this case, we aren't actually given any pictures of triangles, just the side lengths. So you'll notice in this first one, it's got lengths of 3 inches, 5 inches, and 3 inches. So what I notice is that it's got two side lengths so that are the same. So this would be considered an isosceles triangle. Isosceles. It's spelled a little funny. So, okay. We look at this next one here. I see it's got side lengths of 24 millimeters, 24 millimeters, and 24 millimeters. So all of these are the same. Therefore, this would be considered an equilateral triangle. Okay. In the next one here, we've got side lengths of 14 centimeters, 9 centimeters, and 8 centimeters, none of which are the same. So this would be considered a scalene triangle. And the reason I'm going to write this out every time is just to help you practice hearing the words and seeing the words, because again, this is all about remembering that vocabulary. All right. Our last triangle has side lengths of 12 feet, 12 feet, and 15 feet. And again, we'll notice some similarities. I see 12 feet and 12 feet, two side lengths that are the same and one that is different. So again, this would be isosceles. All right, so you might see some problems like that. It's just recognizing side lengths and identifying how many are the same or if there are none at all the same. The next type of problems you might see are where you actually have the triangle itself and all the side lengths are identified right on the triangle. So in this first one here, it has side lengths of 2 yards all the way around. So all three sides are equal. So this is an equilateral triangle. Equilateral. On this next one here, I see side lengths of 3 inches, 5 inches, and 7 inches. None of them are the same, so this would be scalene. Okay, scalene has no sides the same. On this one here, I notice two of them are the same, 3 feet and 3 feet, and then one that's different at 5 feet. So this is that long word, isosceles. Two sides that are the same and one that is different. Okay, and the next one I see, again, two that are the same. I have 2 inches on both of these sides and one that's different, 3 inches. So that again would be isosceles. Our next triangle here has side lengths of 4 feet, 4 feet, and 4 feet. All of them are the same, they're equal. So this would be an equilateral triangle. All right. And finally on this page, I see a triangle with side lengths of 7 yards, 8 yards, and 9 yards. They're all different, so this would be considered a scalene triangle. All right, not too tough, right? Just, again, practicing that vocabulary, remembering which one is which. Just a matter of repetition here. All right, our last way to practice is this. Now, this looks a lot different than what we've been seeing. In the other examples, we were told the side lengths on all of them. In this case, we are not, but we're given clues. You'll notice on these ones that you're seeing these little dash or tick marks. On this one, we see some here, and some here, and some here. What those indicate is when 2 or more sides of a triangle are equal length. So what I notice here is this, and this side all have that tick mark. That is showing me that these 3 sides are all equal. So this would be considered an equilateral triangle. And I can tell because they all have the same tick mark or the dash on them, and that shows me that they're all the same. On this next one here, I notice that 2 of them have that dash, but the other one doesn't. So that's telling me that these 2 sides are equal, but this one is different. So 2 sides that are the same, one that is different, that is called an isosceles triangle. I noticed on this triangle here, I see no dash marks, no tick marks, anything. That tells me that there are no sides of equal length. When I have no sides that are equal, this would be considered a scalene triangle. All right, moving on, I noticed the same thing about this triangle down here. No tick marks, therefore all 3 sides are different, so this would be considered scalene as well. On this triangle here, I notice 3 tick marks. That tells me that all 3 sides are equal. If they're all equal, this is considered an equilateral triangle. And finally, this last one, again, I notice 2 tick marks. So that is telling me that these 2 sides are equal. There's nothing here, so this one is a different length. And when you've got 2 of them that are the same length and one that's different, this is called an isosceles triangle. All right, and that's all there is to this one, Otters. I am going to go back to that page right here with the descriptions. Just remember, keep practicing. An equilateral triangle has all 3 sides the same. An isosceles triangle has 2 sides the same and one that's different. And a scalene triangle has no sides the same. They're all different. So you'll want to go into Canvas next and download the assignment. It's in Keynote. It's the same kind of practice we just did on here. You'll want to write in if the triangles are equilateral, isosceles, or scalene. And then when you are done, just upload it as a PDF. Have a great rest of your day.